Hello, everybody. It has been quite a day, and as I was about to head to sleep, hello, hello. Drop who you are in the chat. Say hi. Tell me where you're tuning in from. As I was getting ready for sleep, which usually happens, Spirit and the ancestors were like, "Hey Z, we got something for you." I was like, "Cool." Um, and as I was sitting there asking them what it was that they wanted me to share, aside from, being available. Azure! Hi. Um, Aside from being available to ask any questions, um someone had messaged me on Instagram, and it was someone that I hadn't talked to in a very, very long time, maybe almost a year. um yes, motivational support, exactly. um and I just knew in that moment that whatever I was about to open from them was what I needed to talk about tonight. And it was a long, long, long message from them about how their life had changed so drastically after I had encouraged them to do their healing, and how I empowered them. And the most important thing um, was that the connection between us two was, one, we knew each other back in college, but we had also both experienced some pretty deep body trauma, and being with partners that made healing from that quite difficult. And hi, everyone. Feel free to drop your name in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And feel free to ask any questions, just channeling whatever spirit wants me to share. And there was a moment in her life, when I was holding space for them, that they weren't sure if they were going to be able to move on, if they were going to be able to feel happy again, if they were going to feel healed again, and if they could ever love again because of the trauma that they had experienced. And fast forward. Hello, hello. Fast VA Beach. Oh, cool. Um, Fast forward. They had written like half of the message, and it was they had just gotten back from Shanghai. And they had also gone to Tokyo, and they were like fast paced, like excelling in their education career, and they had gotten their masters and like all these amazing things. And you know they had paused for a moment, and had just said, "I don't think you realize what empowerment like did for them, and what healing did for them, because they are just exploding exploding and creating so much change in the world." Um and so really, I just wanted to share with you all just how important it is to surround yourself with people who not only encourage you to excel, but can do it from a place of love and balance and compassion, and see you where you are, and see you and your entirety, but also see all of the beautiful things that you are capable of doing. Um, because it's easy to go work with a coach, or be in a community that only sees you for what you're experiencing in your life right now. And I've had moments like that of hitting hardships, and then having folks messaging and being like, "Wow, like you actually like made it out." And I'm like, "Of course I did." because I surrounded myself with people who saw me and my potential, and I believed in myself, and I empowered myself, and I continued to do my healing work and was deconditioning myself. So if you are in a spot where sometimes the days can be a little bit harder, some days are harder than others, know that sometimes it's just a small shift in your mindset that makes all the difference. Literally just the smallest thing of, maybe I don't have all the answers today, but I do know that I can finish this task. Or maybe I don't know how I'm going to make this amount of money this month, but I do know that I'm going to keep trying my hardest this week, right? And continue to grow, and also continue to choose yourself. Like, choosing yourself is the biggest thing. Like, folks can create huge impacts in the community because they are willing to stand behind their mission, and they don't give up. They are relentless about it. And there's been many times on my path, friends, family, partners who have told me to stop, told me I was making the wrong decision, tried to gaslight me, like, and no one's gonna understand your vision more than you. Even if you have the best of friends who are cheering you on, no one's gonna understand the connection deeper than you. So lean into that on days when you may feel like, I don't know if this is actually going to work, and maybe your ego is like saying hello, because it's completely possible for you to achieve your dreams and manifest a life that you are wanting if you just stay consistent. And I was actually talking to my dad about this, um and he was like, just keep going. And we haven't always had the best relationship, but sometimes he has some gems, you know? Um, and he was like, you just keep going. He was like, the millionaires that I know, and these big wigs, he was like, do you know how much money they've lost? They didn't care. They just knew and believed in themselves, and they believed in their vision, and they kept going, and they kept trying again. They kept trying again, and making tweaks based on everything that they had learned about themselves and their environment around them. I moved on taking my ancestry Rastafari. Seriously, I just made my first scroll. Oh, that's so cool. Congratulations. Um, so yeah, just keep believing in your dreams and whatever that means to you. Um, and something, this is also popping up in my mind for some reason. It could just be how my brain works. Um, There is also a need for folks to be a lot easier on themselves, um, when it comes to, being an entrepreneur and learning what works for you and owning that about who you are and your business. Meaning, your business is not going to function like everybody else's business because you are your business, you are your brand. And so you need to put your unique stamp on everything that you do in your unique way. Um, and I will say openly that, my business would always suffer when I tried to do things the traditional way. I tried to, like, pump out all these videos, and I try to, like, do sales calls, and I try like all this stuff. And it never, ever, ever worked for me because it wasn't something that I aligned with. My energy didn't align with it. And it also didn't align with my ethics of, like like being inauthentic. Like, I love holding space for people in a very honest way. And so chasing in that way felt very inauthentic and almost very traumatic to myself and other people. And my business is spiritual, so if you have a spiritual business, or your spirituality is important to you, like lean into that in everything that you do with your manifestations and just in life, whether you're manifesting like money in your business or resources, or a soul tribe, a partners, community, like whatever it is, lean into what is unique to you because it was my authenticity that got me all of the opportunities that I've had up until this point that have been like dream opportunities, like dream opportunities that most people won't see. Like, and I didn't know that it was even possible, but I just kept trusting and believing that like I am great just as I am. And, doing the TV show and competing with all those entrepreneurs, um, when I was doing the like interview for it and applying for it, like I had to really tell myself like just be yourself. Like just be yourself no matter how many rounds that you're doing because you have that urge to like, oh, because of things like standardized testing, right? Like which doesn't work. You have this need to want to like fit in a box. And I was like, no, I'm gonna put on my ori, I'm gonna dress the way I want to dress, I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I'm gonna let them know that oppression is real. And I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be activist, I'm gonna tell them my story, and I'm like, the world needs generational healing, and I'm serious about it. Are you gonna help me get some visibility? Like I was like, I'm laying it all on the table. And I didn't care. And the minute I stopped caring, everything just got so much better for me and everything took off. So if ever you are in doubt, hi Tanya. Yes, authenticity for real, for real. It's great to see you. Um, if you are ever in doubt, always choose your authenticity. Don't even don't even be around people who like make you question that. And I feel like that's the energy right now where there's like a lot of clearing of old tendencies, of old ways of thinking, of old soul tribe, maybe even old clothes, right? Like all these old things are coming to the surface. Um, and right now we're all being asked to make a decision. Like, are you gonna choose your old life or are you finally gonna choose yourself? And it's important that you choose yourself. And I know that sometimes choosing yourself can feel like a selfish thing to do. That's what we're conditioned to believe, especially if you are a femme, right? We're very like, we're conditioned to just give everything away because that's how we nurture and like all these things. It's very imbalanced. And then, before you know it, we are sick in hospitals, can't carry babies to term, right? Like all of these things, hyper masculine, like all these things. Um, and so realize that your power lies in how deeply you can choose yourself, no matter what, in everything that you do, in everything that you do. Um, and I think I had mentioned this before, but I'm just gonna bring it up again because I keep seeing it, and maybe whoever needs to hear this message, it'll be for them. But when I was designing my packaging for my apothecary, people had opinions about stupid things, like what it should look like, and I was like, no, like I'm gonna do like this color fuchsia, and then I'm gonna like blast it. Like I was having so much fun, and nobody took me seriously, and yet every time after every show, I was sold out. And people were walking around and they're like, "I just saw someone walking around with that bag and I knew like I needed to chase it down." And so your authenticity can put like this really cool, unique energy out into the world. Like it just proliferates, but when you're not yourself, it like your light is so dim. Your life is a lot harder. Your frequency is lower. You're worrying about money, you're worrying about food, you're worrying about how you're going to move. Things are rhyming again. Probably need to write a poem. um but let me know in the chat, like, if depending on where you are, I know it's kind of late. How do you feel about your authenticity? Do you feel like most of the time you are staying true to who you are, or do you feel like sometimes it's a little bit tricky, or maybe you're, in a transition? Um, and I feel like if you're someone who's trying to start in social media, I feel like it's a big thing to overcome in the beginning of how you want to show up. Will people accept you? Will people be there? And, I always tell people, like, you show up regardless of if there's people there or not, right? There's always an opportunity. If there's one person, you service that one person as much as you can, because spirit sent them to you, right? Like, they need you. That's why they're there. If you don't want to, be of service and be your authentic self, then um that person's not going to be able to get help. But in social media, it's it's definitely like the one place where you can test how authentic you actually are. Like, get a temperature for how you feel by just turning on the live button and just letting the energy just flow out of you. um there's so much noise in the world now, it's hard not to hesitate, even if we have hold on, pin it. Let me do this one actually. I love both of these. Your power lies in how deeply you choose yourself, no matter what. Yeah, completely. It really does. There's so much noise in the world now. It's hard not to hesitate, even if we have a lot to express. Yeah, the world is in a very interesting place. Tanya, I don't remember where you're located, but um, there's a lot of heartache in the world right now, which is why it's so important for not just like healers and folks like myself to be visible, but for everybody to be visible in joy and in happiness and in healing. Like, being vulnerable and authentic with the days that you don't feel so great, and the days that you feel amazing, so we can normalize that we're all in this together. um and especially if you're like a spiritual person, sometimes it's harder to express yourself because you can feel certain animosity, or your trauma starts to come up. I feel like healers are quite unique, like true healers. um I mean, I feel like when you're a healer, you've likely experienced quite a bit of hardship in your life, because the only way you're going to be able to be a really good healer is if you are broken down and built back up, so you know how to heal yourself. And that is the only path you can take to being a healer. So, like, that in and of itself is a difficult path to take. And then when you mix it with being on social media and facing your trauma in that sense and trying to be authentic, it's it's like a whole different thing. um but, like, with time, like always give yourself the grace to, like, learn and expand into it, because it takes time. And there was someone the other day, um who had said in one of the classes, they were really excited. I don't know if I mentioned this. I'm so tired. I'm just see if I can recall this correctly. There was someone in one of the classes who um was mentioning that they were really excited to be on social media, and that they were seeing all this progress, and they were um they're like, oh, I'm getting a lot of views, and I like I paused them right there. I paused them right there because I was like, that's a slippery slope. Um, when it comes to being our authentic self, and for folks who want to make an impact, because if you are constantly chasing numbers, like, you're not really here to help, right? Like, the people who you're supposed to service will always show up, but trying to validate yourself by the numbers that you are getting means you still have quite a bit of healing to do. So maybe you shouldn't be doing that as much, right? Or at least remember that step number one is to simply to be of service. It's not about the numbers. And like, even for some of my stuff, like, I don't even like seeing the numbers, because whatever spirit or the ancestors or deities have for me to share, like, I'm going to share it regardless. And someone had said that they were sorry because some video that they wanted me to, like, work with them on, wasn't getting a lot of views like they had thought. And I was like, it doesn't, like, none of that matters. And I will say this for the millionth time for everybody. Um, my favorite coach, one of my favorite coaches, Ingrid Arna, um, she, she always said the F word, and I just loved it. But she would always, tell us, like, if you can't, like, if she was like, if you can't fucking help, like, 100 people, like, what makes you think that you can help 10,000 people? Like, it was like a lesson of, like, what are you doing? Like, your job is to be of service. Like, she always said that you are to be of service. It was so heavily ingrained into me now that, like, it's a way that all of us should be living, and the world would be such a better place, and we wouldn't have that, energy of hesitation to want to say something, because there would just be an understanding of everybody is here to be in community, and we're not chasing the low frequency things, like you know being really greedy with your money, and all that sort of stuff, because we understand the value of helping the community. Um, Totally. Trending does not equal truth necessarily. Yeah, completely. And I've come to realize, actually, it started, and I was wondering why I had this vision today. I remember sitting, um, I remember sitting in one of these calls, because I ran DEI, and there was a speaker that they were bringing in, and I was like, they're an amazing speaker. I remember sitting there like, oh, I wonder what kind of audience they do, because at that back then I was like finding my way out. You know what I mean? I was like finding my way out. Um and I was just ready to, like, hit the ground running and just jump ship. Um and then I looked and I was like, oh, they don't have, like, a ton of followers. And in that moment, it wasn't like I was like, "Oh, they're not gonna be very good." It was like, "Oh, I could totally do this." Right? Like, I could totally do this, because it was like, who cares about the numbers? Like, look how amazing they are. And it was like that reaffirming thought. And these last couple of months, um, I've been meeting with some folks who have these ginormous audiences, and are like, I'm just not making money. But then they don't want to service people. Like, they don't know how to service people. They don't know how to help or be friendly or available. You don't know how to be available. Like, that's something that's, people forget about. It's like, yeah, like, maybe you can post a reel, but are you actually checking the comments? Are you reaching out to people? Are you genuinely, like, speaking to them? And I remember on TikTok, like, lately it's been a little bit harder to catch up on comments. But I always set time aside, because I'm like, I want to know who's there, I want to help them. And I replied to someone's comment, and they just put a bunch of crying eyes. And they were like, thank you for acknowledging my existence. And I was like, this is why we need to be in our seat of like authenticity, of love and compassion. Remember the responsibility that comes along with like being in community and social media and being a healer. I know this conversation is kind of shifting, but like we go where we need to go. um, and so I know that a lot of you on this page are healers or light workers and earth angel folk. And so I invite you to like take it the next step of how you want to help people, right? Like right now for June, it's Indigenous Month, it's Pride Month, it's Men's Mental Health Month, like Juneteenth is coming. Like there's so many amazing things that are going on in June that we need to be centering. And so if you haven't taken like any actions or vocalized anything to support other communities, I invite you to do that. Like there's like what is the point of calling yourself a healer or a light worker if you can't take like actions, even if they're not big actions, just go support a company and encourage people like I'm encouraging you, right? I'm using my platform to give visibility to causes that are going on in the world, or go give money to the Congo and things like that. But it's important that we just continue to empower ourselves and to bring it full circle with that, you know, long letter from one of my clients from before. Like they did two sessions. They did two sessions. One of the sessions, well, it was like a course, it was a Find Your Flourish. And then the other one was a Fly With Me session. And it was for inner child work. And I swear that session is gold. Like, you want to change your life? Pay $555 and it'll change your life like forever. Um, and like I had given her some very specific things, like because I'm a psychic and a seer, and so I told her this is gonna happen, it's gonna show up at your door, like you're gonna get this opportunities, you need to not worry, I just need you to heal. And then it was like boom, 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 boom after that. And now she's just like already like off in the cosmos. And it's been like year after year, she's just been massively growing. Um, and so trust yourself, trust that you can make the right decisions to get to where you want to go and do your healing. Hi, hello, it's so great to meet you. How about singing messages? I am waiting. I've actually had a lot of songs in my head. I need to record them tomorrow. Acknowledgement is huge. Yeah, reciprocity. Do you all like the singing messages? I think I'm gonna do more of them. I hear like 50 songs a day, and I feel like I just need to like turn on my camera and just sing it because sometimes it can be overwhelming, but I love doing them. And even while I'm doing this, it's just like an ongoing ongoing track. That's why I like to joke that I am Batty from Fern Gully. My name is Batty. My logic is so batty. And he's like, "Tsk, tsk, tsk." That's literally how my brain is 24/7. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Yes, more. Okay, I'll do more. I actually have one on my phone. And it was a song from Chicago. So I'm gonna post it because it was about, or should I leave it as right? No, it was about like the feminine energy rising basically into a deeper sense of sensuality. So yeah, it was really cool hearing that and how it came out through that song. Um, it was so fierce, and it was around the time we did the Black Cat energy. So I was like, oh, that makes a lot of it makes a lot of sense. Um, it was, yeah, healing grudges and things like that. But I will definitely do more. And I know I went on that lovely tangent, but I feel like it's all important. Um, and if any of you need anything, just always check out my link tree. All my healing services. They're there to support you. And if you've never been to Z School for the Gifted, it's every Thursday, so tomorrow. And we're all on a journey right now to clear energy in the body. I'm working on the third eye and the crown chakras tomorrow. It's only $22 and it's a beautiful community. So if you want that type of expansion in your life and just continue to grow and be a part of a community that understands you, and where you're at, as I was saying earlier, because surrounding yourself with people who see you for who you are is the most important. And I've I've learned the hard way um that I have to continue, just like you, continue to choose myself, continue to choose people who are going to be my biggest cheerleaders so I can help more of you, more of the community, and expand and hold larger visions. And you can't always do that with folks who are either not along for the ride or are like they can't see beyond themselves, really. When you can't see beyond yourselves, it's very hard to make an impact in the world because making an impact requires you to see beyond yourself, and see the community. Um, but yeah, it's I hope this was helpful for you all. I feel like I'm going to be going live more often just to share some thoughts and channel some things, because spirit and the ancestors seem to speak quite loudly at nighttime. And yeah, I know that many of you are sitting in this June energy, and there is a group of folks that are still healing right now. So June feels a little difficult. Um, but also it's a very magical month. What is happening tomorrow? Yeah, so it's Z School for the Gifted. It's a spiritual slash like healing class that I teach every Thursday. It's $22. The link is going to be in the description if you just go to my link tree and click like reserve my spot for Z School for the Gifted. I teach it. It's live over Zoom. Folks can submit their questions ahead of time, and I can take a look at them, and then I pull folks up one by one. And I encourage everybody to have some sort of notebook with them because usually if you're there, there's something important. And I also talk a lot about spiritual practices and clearing and give advice and teach about Ayurveda and meditation and higher level concepts and things like that. So it's a good place for you to like also build out your ancestor book or, notes for yourself. I enjoy doing it because then you can take it and pass it on to your family and friends. Um, and it's very supportive. And the last couple weeks, we've been journeying to ensure that folks' manifestations can come in more easily since June, July, and August are fast manifestation months. So everything that you've been sowing up until this point you're going to start seeing the fruits of your labor right now through summer. And so I've been guiding them through after each, like in Z School for the Gifted, we do the live um questions and things like that. And it can be about spirituality, it can be about love, it can be about whatever you want, even if you're grieving and things like that. And then at the end of it, we've been extending the time and I've been guiding them through like shamanic meditations and doing somatic work and body movement to clear the energy out and teaching them new concepts, so that they can do it at home and then they'll come back the next week and we will continue to clear energy and move forward. So right now, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I invite you all to come. Yes, it's so much fun and it's been really awesome to see how far people's gifts have evolved. It's so fun. It's amazing and hearing folks like, what do you do when life starts getting really good and you have all these opportunities? I'm like, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, because when you put in the work, you really start to see change in your life and you get to experience peace and bliss, which many people don't actually experience. but it is something that everybody fully deserves. And so I kind of consider like Z School for the Gifted, even though it's school, and I like to call myself Teach Z. You don't have to call me that, but I've been doing that myself, self-proclaimed. Miss Frizzle vibes. Um, I consider it like preventative healthcare, to be honest, because we talk about um, your body and your energy and your mind and keeping yourself healthy. And as you're also expanding your spiritual practices, which is what everybody is basically being called to do, your body has to catch up with that as well. Otherwise, you will start to feel quite unwell, and even in your mind, you will feel unwell. And so we talk about that, and we talk about oppression and liberation and deep healing, inner child work, learning from our parents. And I also spend time channeling from folks' ancestors if they choose to step forward when I'm going through their questions. So, I will share whatever needs to be shared and their guides, and connect folks with their family and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of just like whatever comes up, but it's a mix, and it's just really beautiful, and the folks in there are just so loving. And even if someone is just crying and things like that, like you need a safe space to be able to do that, and feel seen without any judgment whatsoever. And the folks in the group just send so much good energy, and I send lots of energy, and energetically also protect the space and do Reiki and things like that. So it's like a big healing vortex filled with lots of love, and Pachamama energy. Yeah, you all should attend. It's every Thursday, so the link is still available to join tomorrow. Um, and it's so much fun. Just know that the reservation link says it lasts for like an hour and 15 minutes, but we've been pushing it to like 2 hours, sometimes even a little bit over, depending on how much healing is needed. So I would just uh, be flexible with your time, depending on where you are. And yeah, like most folks, I don't think we haven't had anyone from like the UK in a while since I moved, the afternoon ones. So most people tend to go to sleep afterwards, which I highly recommend. I highly, highly recommend. Like it's a come as you are, come cozy vibe. So, you can get all your blankets, you can get your tea. If you want to walk around while people are talking, like I invite you to do that. It's really about being in community, but just virtual. So there's no pressure to be anything other than yourself. And I ask folks just ahead of time to like make sure they have their camera on, for safety reasons mostly, so I know who you are and I can make sure that you're okay and you're safe. And it also, helps with energy and accountability, since I am also an accountability teacher as well. I just, really encourage people to be a part of a community. I would love to. You should totally attend. Um, Let me click this one so I can see it up here. I am a newcomer. I've been here maybe 2 times and lost you. Oh, no. It's so great to meet you, Joyce. You should definitely come on Thursday, and Tanya and anybody else who it calls to. And I'm also thinking, oh, shots. I didn't even see that. Hi, it's nice to meet you. Um, I'm half awake right now, so please do excuse the way I'm reading things. Um, I might be opening some like masculine specific coaching, as well, to help service that community. And yeah, I'm excited for that as well. It'll be like built on top of some of my other stuff that is feminine specific, which Z School for the Gifted is not gender specific or energy specific, or representation specific. It's for it, like anybody can come, but I'm realizing that I don't want to forget about my masculine folks out here who I feel like would also benefit from specific coaching techniques geared towards you and what you are experiencing, since sometimes, having that energy in with other divine feminine energy at the same time makes it kind of disjointed. Let's see what someone said. Okay, I will check the time. Yes. So it's at 6. Hold on. I think it's 6:30 um PM Pacific. Let me see. 6 PM. 6 PM Pacific. Yes. I highly recommend you all come. Yeah. I have lots of folks from California and from the East Coast, and they just pass out right afterwards, which is great because then you can integrate everything that you've learned, and hi, it's good to see you. Everything you've learned, and not go back to, you know, work and social media and that kind of stuff, right? So I always recommend as a healer. Oh, yay! Yes, bring your sister. That would be so much fun. What is your sister's name? So I can keep a lookout if you do sign up. I can remember Joyce. Good to see you too. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Tanya says welcome, welcome to everybody. Um, yeah, it's a really fun time. It's a really fun time. And um yeah, I hope that you all have been enjoying these videos. I'm gonna be Brandy. Cool. Okay, I'll keep a lookout if they join, if you join, so I know I can put you named together. I'll make a note. Um yeah, June is such a beautiful time, and it's also a great time for just love and connection. So collaborations and things are going to be in your favor right now, and June is not a month where you do things by yourself. You're meant to be with people. That is how our ancestors were. That is our nature to be that way. And so I will always continue to invite you all to come to Z School for the Gifted. And also, in my opinion, when I was going through my spiritual journey, I really wish that I had, a safe, accessible place that I could come weekly if I wanted to ask questions, to just be an energy. Because sometimes folks don't ask questions, right? Like you can go and not fill out your form. Like that's an option too. And sometimes they just want to listen, right? Sometimes they just want to take notes and say hi to everybody. And that's perfectly fine too. And, I wish that I had more of that on my journey, because mine was a lot more rough than that, but I've been on my journey for a really long time. Um, but I wanted to offer it to you all so you have a place to go where you are safe. Yeah, Tanya, go for it. You go to sleep. I'm gonna leave in 1 to 2 minutes as well, since it's midnight, and I biked 12 miles today and ran a 5K. So I'm tired. I am eager to learn, I guess. You see, I'm not shy. I will be quiet. You don't need to be shy. I mean, yeah, be yourself, I mean. Um, be exactly who you are. That's the best part. The best part. Just be whoever you want to be in that space. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be quiet. And, every once in a while, like if I'm like trying to keep pace, I will encourage, like, I will be like, okay, I gotta go to the next person, and it's all in good fun and good community. It's not because I don't want to hear you. It's just, you know, we want to be fair with time for folks. But I always prioritize the people who have actually put questions on their form, and then if there's time, I will answer one or two from people who didn't put anything, because the folks who took action and put their questions in get to go first, and then so be it. And then we go into meditation and things like that. Tanya said, LOL. My best friend's daughter is a master teacher of Reiki. Beautiful. I love that. We need a lot of healers. Oh, wow. You should rest really well. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. That's what I got the message from spirit, like, knock, knock, and the ancestors, like, I was like, "Are you sure, everybody? Are you sure? I can barely walk." No, it's not that bad. I've just been training really hard this week and, you know, going back to ballet, and I'm trying to make my way into doing ultras. And then I looked today, which I thought was kind of fun. And it's like, if I just like keep up with my swimming, I could probably do a triathlon really soon, which would be really fun. Uh, thank you. Yeah, you're totally, yeah, you can be yourself. Please be yourself. I'd be sad if you wouldn't. I would know energetically too. That's what's always the best about these gifts and holding space. And sometimes my clients like it, sometimes they don't. Like when I get audio messages and they're like, "Oh, I have a question." Do you already know my question? You know my question already, don't you? Like, I do know your question. It's fine. Just keep going. Or I'll just send you a message. Don't worry about it. I already sense you coming anyways. So please do come as you are. What's the difference in what she does and you do? You look super young. Oh yeah, I mean, I look young. I'm 35. Um, I just take care of myself. I eat clean and make my own beauty products. Um, yeah, so uh masters of Reiki, it depends, like, are because like what I do, I use many, many, many modalities. I don't just use one modality. So I don't know how they practice, like if they do like, you know, just Reiki and that is a service that they're offering, but um I have a mix of Reiki. I have also learned some Jaure. I also have a strong connection to the Himalayas. I also know Hoodoo and Voodoo and Santeria, and I'm also Christian and like all these things. So, and I teach different types of yoga and am certified in mindfulness and meditation and women in leadership and DEI and all these things. So I kind of incorporate all my skills into one, and then I naturally have healing energy. Like I can call on energy. So it's kind of similar to Reiki and Jiaorei. I mean, Reiki flows two ways, but Jiaorei flows one way. And then me being an energy that can call energy to me and into myself, which is why I can venerate ancestors really easily and deities. I can use that and like implement their energy into me and flow it into somebody else's space. So then it can also help them heal. So it's it's a little bit different. Yeah, like because I also my path, which I love, my goal has always been to help as many people as possible. So in order to do that, I would need to learn a lot of different modalities, a lot of them because I need to be able to speak to folks in many different ways and teach in many different ways. And so learning one modality isn't good enough. Right? Like, and so I've been blessed on my path by spirit and my ancestors and my guides and deities and orishas and things to teach me what I need to know, and they continue to teach me so that when people come to me, I'll have the answer for them. Um, and so it's really just working together. But yeah, I mean, it just depends on how they practice their Reiki and how they implement things. But I like to merge the 3D realm with the 5D realm because people don't usually do that. And that's how appropriation starts, and that's how imbalances start. And I also like teach Ayurveda. So I do that as well, and I'm a coach and and all these things, and fitness trainer, dog trainer, writer. I'm a poet, dancer. Like I travel, I do production. Like I use every single God-given skill to help people. I've been in many different industries. Um, high fashion, outdoor. Like I've done so many weird things for the small amount of time I've been on this earth. uh, so I use everything I can to help people wherever I go. Um, and my animals, right? I bring my animals with me if I'm doing like a house cleansing or something because they are like they're seekers and they can see, so they can also help identify if I can't see something right away. So yeah, that was a long-winded answer, but I feel like it's different. Yeah, I am still a young lady. Yes, I am. Um, I love that comment. Okay, master, smart teacher of God. Yeah, um, I take pride in that quite a bit. And anything that kind of gets in my way of my connection with spirit, I rip it to the ground, full transparency. And I'm very upfront with that and just that I fully see myself as a messenger from God. That's why I can, see visions and help people in very miraculous ways, because of the gifts that spirit has given me, which is why I also feel like my name is the way it is. It's Ngozi Okechi, which means a gift from God. So I'm like, you know what? The title was in the name. So I fully accept it. And to me, it's like there's nothing I can't learn or can't do or comprehend because spirit will know. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And some folks are like, oh, well, what books did you read? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I did read some books, but most of the time I'm in the spiritual realm learning. um, and they're sending me other teachers in the 3D. Okay, one more question. How do you know if you Clary, I hear positive voices or seem like I know what they're thinking? Yeah, happy to answer them. Yeah, everybody has clairs. It's just a matter of developing them. Well, there's like a few that hopefully I'm understanding your question, but there are a few that tend to come out more easily than others, and it's mostly because we use that energy channel more, kind of like clear cognizance, like clear understanding and things like that. And understanding other people's thoughts and thought forms, clairvoyance and visions and things, because people are quite dreamy, clairaudience, because most people can hear, so that energy is constantly flowing, and you can have an inner clair gift or an outer clair gift. Most people try to develop their outer clair gift and don't realize that they already have an inner clair gift. They just don't know how to recognize it. So let me just make sure. Yeah, everybody has them. Um, and it's normal to pick up on people's thoughts for sure. I do it all the time. I've been doing it since I was little. It's also why I don't spend a lot of time in busy places because it gives me like bad anxiety sometimes, or if there's too many folks who are agitated, like it's too like I have to go be on an island to sleep, um basically. So yeah, that's completely normal. You are fantastic. See, it's your week 24/7 or 44/7. I love that. It's infinite. It's infinite. I run on God's time. I run on my ancestors' time. Whenever they come a knocking, I say, I got you. Let me go. Let me go do what I'm supposed to do. Which I love it. I mean, there was once a time where life was not this fun. Many, many times. And I just kept working hard and believing in myself. I mean, the fact that I can sit here and answer questions about spirituality and channel and share lots of fun things and call it ZTV with my watercolor in the back and this canvas that fell over. You know what I mean? Like that is living and my hair is not brushed. I'm grateful. Like, and to experience love from the spiritual realm. You know what I mean? Life doesn't get better than that. Um, Okay, friends, I think I'm gonna get going. Again, just a reminder, Z School for the Gifted is tomorrow. I can't remember the time that the link shuts down, but it does shut down at a certain time, and then it blocks off the class from being booked, but you can always come to the next one if you miss this one. But if you do join, I would probably sign up tonight or earlier in the rising so you don't miss it. Um, Here, I'll just check this one. What's the last one? How would you say how the spiritual realm be like? Oh yeah. The spiritual realm is very different, depends on where you go. Um uh in some of my shamanic stuff, like if I'm taking certain folks to meet their inner selves, their gatekeepers, their soul stone, their soul animal. The spirit realm is it looks different. It's kind of like in the woods, but also it kind of changes based on like how comfortable the person who's going in there looks or feels. Um, Something that I like to do is when I take people to the spiritual realm, I make it digestible, or I make it really loving, and I try to hold it energetically and visually so people don't feel uncomfortable. But when I go, it's different. It's totally different. It's just I don't really know how to explain it. You can go many different places. Sometimes there's nothing there. Sometimes it's just dark. Sometimes there's animals, sometimes there's water, sometimes it's Flourishase, like it sometimes it's just energy. And sometimes like when I'm stressed out, I'm there with um my guides and they're talking to me at the beach. And they're just in whatever shape that they're meant to be in because they're not people. So um so that they're like, you need to relax. I'm like, what's happening? So it just depends. The spiritual realm is not just one place. Uh, yeah, it's not just one place. There's many, many places, like many, many dimensions and things like that. Everything happens all at one time. So, I mean, technically, I feel like if you're in the realm where it's black, which like sometimes would happen, especially when I was in New Orleans, but I feel like because my energy submerges more deeply into voodoo when I'm there, that it's different. It's really different. He was holding someone and yeah, you'll see lots of different things. I think the most important thing to remember about the spiritual realm is that to me it's like yes, there are good and bad things, but your energy is going to dictate what you see and how you experience it. And sometimes your guides will show you things to let you know that you are fearful and that you need to solve it. But like everything happens at once, so you can't expect to, and this is not pertaining to you, but I mean, like, uh, when folks travel to the spiritual realm, it's like you can't expect to not see things that might scare you because it's everything. Like I feel like people tend to spiritually bypass what spirituality really means, and that's because of colonialism and how like yoga is only like happy and bubbly and yoga pants and like tight clothes and all the like it's been heavily filtered, but it's like in reality of the spiritual space, it's everything. So when you know that, you can go in a more infinite way and be a part of it more infinitely and understand that things are just things. Things are just energy, and we perceive them to be scary because that's what we've been told. And then, there's other stuff like low frequency type of energies that kind of siphon and stuff like that. But it's like it's always perception. Was lit. I wrote your name down in because I see you again. Yes, a fairy medicine woman. Definitely subscribe so you don't lose me. I'll probably pop back up on your feed either way. Um, mm, Three or five. Confused. That is why I was looking for you. Yeah, well, I'm glad. Thank you for saying I teach well. Do you do candle work? Hi, Christine. Nice to meet you. I do candle work. I do a lot of it. If you look at the link in my link tree, there is also like if you go to the top button, it says all healing services and things like that. I need to actually make that more clear. Um, it goes to my Acuity, which has the candle workings on there as well. And I usually work with the longer, you know, type of 7-day candles, and I do the work and petition paper and petition your guides and ancestors, call them in. And I also will send you a mini tarot reading to let you know what they're trying to tell you and any advice. And I'll also give you tips and steps to take while I am doing your candle working and I am overseeing your candle work. Since it'll be with my altars and my deities and my ancestors and protection and, and things like that. And yeah, if you talk to any of my clients, they will tell you it works very quickly for the most part, depending on how quick you are on taking instruction as well, because it takes the 3D and the spiritual space. But yeah, I do candle workings. Absolutely. I do personalized candle workings. Can you sing something? I love it. Me to sing. I'll be singing more channeled messages. I'm really trying to finish these songs. I feel like every time I go and try and do it, I get distracted or like something happens. Like my stuff has been breaking, but a lot of changes have been happening, so that's kind of normal. But yeah, yeah, you should definitely try a candle working. There's different ones. I'll just like tell you which ones are there right now. Because I think I might add actually a couple more. So yeah, I'm just gonna show everybody so you can see it. Okay, can you see this? This is my link tree. So you can always watch this video back. But if you click on this top button, it takes you to my, oh, that's really bright. Hold on. I believe that's better. It takes you to my Acuity and you go here where it says candle workings and you can click uh uh you can click a book and it'll give you like a breakdown of all the different ones that are there. So I do road opening for prosperity, that's like your money and wealth. Um, and road opening for love. So if you're calling in any new relationships and things like that, I don't do come to me spells because I don't believe in manipulating people's energy. If they don't want to come to you, why? You know, road opening for career, so calling in opportunities and like helping magnetize them to you, because sometimes folks can, as we say in Hulu, like cross your path basically. That's why there's like uncrossings, which I'm actually going to put on here this week, doing an uncrossing candle working for folks to kind of clear the way in general. So if you've made any like not so great decisions in love or wealth or like career and things, I can help clear that energy out and do like blockbusters to kind of fully hit it, and just remove the energy. There's Crown of Success, which is like, drawing in a successful outcome to anything that you're wanting to manifest, but with power, clarity, and with the energy of the sun. And I'll also call in a couple orishas to do that. I work with orishas and deities for all of these. And also certain ones will step forward when I start channeling your energy, and I'll usually tell you in the tarot reading who is stepping forward, who's there to help you. And I will call to them, and you can also call to them on your side. And then there's divine intervention, which is an intense one. So I basically call on the seraphim to come intervene in a situation that you need to sever yourself from. But it's like a very strong tower moment, very, very strong. Um, so I always tell people if you want a divine intervention, like if you're like, I really need this change and I need it now, the seraphim will step in. But I'm telling you, when the seraphim are there, they will do everything they can to help you, but it's not going to be logical, okay? And it's sometimes really painful. It's going to be really painful. There's also cord cutting, so I can help cut cords. I did that for one of my clients actually recently because she was seeing a lot of cockroaches in her space. And certain bugs and things like that is like an energetic infestation. I could feel it, I could see who was doing it. And so I did a cord cutting for her, and she like woke up and was like, "Ah, the cockroaches are caught between this thing." And I was like, "Yeah, it's working. That's what's happening." Um, uh, Crown chakra opening, so like helping with your connection to the divine, to your ancestors, to spirit, to your guides. And then I also have protection, which it says ancestral angelic deities guides. And then I do one for legal. Um, and like helping to move it forward basically. And so it says it includes a video with your working advice and all that. And it'll ask you when you book it to like pick a time slot, but it's only so that it shows up on my calendar. So it's not a live thing. You just book it and then I will do a video of me doing your candle working and your tarot reading and send it to you. So that's what that is. You are so well organized. Thank you. I love organization. Loves it. Although sometimes I'm not, um, but because my spiritual practices, like, I don't like the feeling of things not being organized, because it makes my energy very chaotic. So I'm actually very, very organized for the most part. I feel like the last year had been a little bit harder because I wasn't living in a house or anything like that. I was just on the road going wherever God told me to go, doing my activism, doing the TV show, like um helping like feed the houseless population on the streets and stuff like that. So I feel like a lot of stuff started to accumulate that I'm like still trying to clear out from my files and things like that. But for the most part, I'm organized. Not always. I still can get a hold of animations, automations. I was over it. Yeah, you should definitely try how long road opening for as finances take, or is it time? It depends on you. Depends on how crossed your finances are. Most of the time, like sometimes I've had folks like have things show up the next day, and sometimes it takes a couple weeks, but it starts to get better. So it just depends. Like I would need to read your energy to see what's going on, because the thing about finances in hoodoo too is that like sometimes people pull their timeline towards them, but they're not ready to receive it. And so the spiritual realm will push it back uh until you are more responsible with it. So those are types of things that I can like help with, or like if they're like, oh, you need to stop doing this, and your finances will come in, I'll be able to tap into that for you and like open it. Um you do it ASAP with the legal candle. Well, um, yeah, so it can help like open the roads to the wind, but what I can do is also kind of read the energy, because I always do the tarot reading first, because like if you have an unfavorable outcome, um, it doesn't mean that you can't win it. It just means that's the energy right then. And so doing the candle working and working with certain odishas can help give you a favorable outcome. And so I can also like tell you if it's a karma thing, like, and you won't win it, or you will, but you need to work hard and do X, Y, and Z in order to win it. Um, had issues with the roofing company that is now legal. Ah, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, like, I can help clear up any junk that's like surrounding the case. And something that I also like to do, it's like dime work when it comes to legal cases and revealing the truth. and bringing in the ancestors. Like you basically, it's like a hoodoo trick, and you get them to be honest. Like if there's anything that is hidden within the case that you feel like you need justice on, the candle work will help reveal it within the case so that it has to be exposed. But then, just be mindful like you have something that you don't want exposed, right? Because it's kind of like it exposes the truth. But if you are needing justice served, then it will help with that. Um, I'm not talking about this man take me 4,000. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, it's understandable. A lot of people, there's folks who will take advantage of other folks, but you're welcome to ask as many questions. I'm not the type to do that. If I'm understanding. Um, that is okay. What I want justice because they fired the people in the middle of the project. Then yes, it would be, yeah, it would be a legal candle. Yeah, can help you. And then there's things I can give you to make sure that you sustain the work, because some specifically with legal, I can open the roads and then you have to maintain the roads, or you would have to like come back, or if you have to go into court, like I can give you things that you can do leading up to court or in court that will help um, with your outcome. So, uh, yeah. Golden child. Y'all are so sweet. Um, yeah, happy to help you all. So you have all the links, they are all there. I'm going to head to bed. Thanks for joining today, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you tomorrow. If not, I hope to see you on another live or whenever you feel comfortable coming to say hi. Or if you need a candle working, you know where to find them. Again, all my services are um, very ethical. Like I'm an activist, so I don't believe in causing harm to anybody. I believe in justice, and I work with spirit and ancestors, and I help in whatever way I can. Like these gifts are not mine, is how I see it. I don't own these gifts. They work through me to help deliver a good outcome of love and support. So yes, I'm really glad I met you all as well. Sweet dreams to you. Sleep well. I will see you all later. Have fun doing whatever you're doing. If you're astro traveling, just make sure you root yourself, okay? Good night, everybody.